Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Collector's Edge. You have myself, Brandon,
And I'm Michael.
and before we get into today's topic, let's show what we're carrying for today. Michael, what you got?
All right. So, for me, I have this guy right here.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a Rockstead. This one is called the Ryu, and it's actually like design wise one of my favorites that they make. I think it's a gorgeous knife. Um, Two things that I will say, like that I have a bit of a qualm with. First is that it's a little small for my taste. Like it's probably seven and something in length, like which is a little small for my taste. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of button locks. But shy of that, I like if they would just do a larger model of this, oh my god. I mean, I really like that reverse tanto. And I don't know, love the milling on it. I think it's just a gorgeous knife, and of course, you always get that crazy mirror blade because it is Rockstead. Um, yeah, just in general, love this knife. Oh, actually, one thing I should show since I'm showing the knife. Um, Weird little pocket clip. So pocket clips back there, and you actually like pop it out. And then it comes out like that.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and so it sits. It does sit kind of weird in the pants. Like I don't mind it. In fact, I don't notice it at all, to be honest with you. But I could see some people it bothering them. I wish that when it's in the pocket, it would like kind of because it has to sit kind of. It's not gonna sit really like that, so it kind of ends up like wedging diagonal. I wish it would wedge that way, but it tends to wedge that way. So it's
Mm.
kind of backwards in the pocket, so to speak. But like other than that, no, I think this is a phenomenal knife, and like I said, I just wish it was bigger.
That's what she said.
But
Good.
yeah, that was in my pocket today.
Yeah, well, I think you got me on beauty, but I'm still carrying a pretty nice one. So for myself, I'm carrying, courtesy of R&G, the TW Price Designs Rain. Uh,
Ooh,
yeah, I picked this one up on pre-order. In my typical plain Jane style. No funky clips here, just the standard milled clip. And it works pretty well. So, overall, pretty thin guy, pretty light, liner lock, great action, and pretty functional jimping there. And love the kind of poonish blade going on here. And just love the looks of this guy. So, that's what's in my pocket for the day.
okay,
All right. So, with all that said, let's get into today's video. So,
let's do that.
yeah.
Guys, what we're going to talk about today. Some of you guys might find this topic boring. You really got to be, woo, you kind of got to be in like uber knife geek to care about this. But that's where we're at. So hopefully that's where you're at. We're going to talk about packaging today. And we're going to talk about like, I mean, some people I don't think they care. I actually not too long ago saw a video that Mental Complex put out where he was kind of like saying basically, if you care about packaging at all, like go fuck yourself. I do though. To me, packaging. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to buy a knife I don't want because it has cool packaging. I'd have a lot of really bad knives if that was the case. But because there's some companies, man, packaging is phenomenal, but whoo, man, I don't like those knives. Um, but like, do I appreciate it when a really nice packaging is put forth to the knife? Oh my god, it's like it's a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
deal for me. So yeah, yeah, without a doubt, it does mean a lot to me. And I was thinking we'd do like show some examples of what we think are best. I happen to actually, because of the type of guy I am, I kind of ranked mine. Uh, and then I've got a handful of examples of what I consider the worst.
Mm.
Um,
All right. Well,
so
yeah, I
yeah,
guess I didn't necessarily rank them, but kind of pulled the various ones out and will kind of give my thoughts on them, maybe
yeah.
in similar style. But then I guess my initial thoughts is similarly, I don't buy a knife for the packaging. I don't really care if it's good, bad, or otherwise. And would I say, would I rather have a mediocre knife and a mediocre packaging or awesome knife and no packaging? I think I'd rather that funding go into the knife. But that being said, I do really appreciate nice packaging. It's just the
Yeah.
whole opening experience, you know. And it happens once, you set it aside, but it's still a great feeling, and one of the reasons I love new knife dates.
God, ain't that the truth? I know. I know. There's something really nice about that. I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. Well, you want to start us off? Show us one of yours.
Oh, sure. So I guess just because I had the rain, I figured I'd pull its package out. And what it comes in is whoa, what we did get is a box. Sometimes you'll get, and I'm sure one of us has an example of where you'll sometimes get a box, a package in that box, and then the knife is in there. But in this case, I believe I'm usually pretty good about keeping all packaging stuff together. That this is what actually came with it. So a little cert card and a little cloth, all that in the box. So nothing too fancy, but not just a cardboard box or a Ziploc bag. So I do appreciate a little touch with a little stamp there. So that is pretty cool. Maybe not my favorite, but decent packaging overall. So I kind of like that from the rain.
Yeah, I've actually never seen that before, so I think that's pretty cool. Well, one thing I'm going to start off by saying is that, as a general rule, um, I definitely prefer boxes over pouches.
Yeah,
Um, there is like one that where I think a pouch. Well, actually, technically there's two, but there's one I'm going to give an honorable mention to, where I actually really like the pouch, and that's these guys.
nice.
Um, I really like the way CKF does it. I mean, the I still probably would prefer it if it was in a box in all reality, but the thing I like with them is like you always get like carbon or microfiber. I almost said carbon fiber, microfiber cloth. You're getting the COA, which is nice. And then the other thing they do is this right here, which if you guys don't know what's all up in the bubble wrap, it's not cocaine. It
It's
is
not.
disappointed. Yeah, disappointing. It is spare parts for the knife, which, like, I do wish more companies were doing the spare part thing. I think
Yeah.
that's actually really great. I would assume the reason why they do it is because you're dealing with overseas shipping, so it's easier for them just to give you some spare parts rather than have to deal with international shipping.
Yeah.
But yeah, big fan of CKF. I do like their pouches a lot. That's actually an honorable mention.
Just a
I'm gonna
quick
start.
note on the CKF. Do you feel and the spare parts? Do you feel like they used to give you more in the past than they do today?
So I could tell if that was the case or if it just depends on the maker,
I feel like my
like
old knives,
who they're
I'd
collaborating
get
with.
pivots, I'd get another clip, even hardware. But now I don't feel like you get the pivots anymore. And like you said, maybe it could be based on the make. A lot of them are collabs, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
So my last Evo, it definitely still came with the pivot,
oh
but it
okay.
did not come with and came with extra bearings, washers. It did not come with the clip. I don't think any of mine have ever came with extra clip. That's badass. If you're going to give people that,
It
but
could have been when I ordered a secondary clip, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But I
ah,
thought they might
quite
have.
possibly. So getting into my actual list, we're going to start off with this guy. Koenig. I do like Koenig's packaging a lot. It's I mean in some degree I guess you could say it's basic for packaging, which is probably why it's actually like on the bottom of mine. But I like that. Well, I normally comes with the sticker. I guess I did something with the sticker, or the. Oh, hold on. It might be in here actually. Nope, it's not. Okay. You also get a really nice microfiber cloth. I do think that, especially at a certain knife price point, I think that you should always at least get a cloth. That's just my take on it. Not
The,
though if
we
you're
have a
getting a lot
thousand
of
of them.
knives. Yeah, I mean you're gonna have a ton of them, but honestly, I feel like it's one of those things you always need some.
Agreed.
And more often than not, I'd like to have one in arm's reach. But yeah, I've always liked their logo. I definitely like the silver on black. Just overall, it's I've always felt good about this. One gripe would be I do feel like it's like comparatively to the knife size, you got a lot of box going on. I definitely think they could like slim it down a little bit to actually fit the knife a little better. Another thing, I was gonna put these guys on the list, but they recently changed the packaging. Oz. I think has a really great box. Um, it's also just same thing with Koenig. You actually don't get the microfiber; you just get the COA and a sticker. I really like their packaging, but they recently switched over to all pouches, so I can't really like put them on the list at this point. But the old style, if you guys know what I'm talking about, I think those were pretty damn good.
You know,
Um, yeah. What about you? Give me one of yours.
all right. So, as we said before, me and Michael generally don't bring up the things we're going to discuss in the video outside of the topic. So, I guess I'll set my Koenig box aside. But getting into the next one, which I do think is pretty cool, and I don't know too many companies that do it. I'm sure there are, but not too many are coming to mind. But one that does come to mind is Machine Wise, and how their cases are all these 3D printed. And what I like about them is how kind of innovative they are. But I did have a Mojave at one point, and you could almost use it as a display case, even the way it's set in the case, as well as the lube they give you with this little challenge coin, which I believe, I know this is the material that they actually cut the pivot or the pivot cover out of. So that's what is included in the box there. And then you also get a little device or bit. I'm sorry to take the knife apart. So getting us tools are fucking awesome to get in the packaging. I don't know if you agree with that, but
Oh yeah, big time,
especially
big
when you
time.
get proprietary hardware, you better fucking have it in the box. If you don't, then in my mind that's a negative. But I guess it won't stop me from buying your knife. But damn it, put it in the box. But I do kind of like again how Machine Wise does it. Does it cost a whole lot? Maybe not, but it's still cool the way they do it, and it does work very well. So I do like that. So that's my next one.
Oh yeah. So my next one, and actually, I'm gonna, these guys are kind of tied because they're pretty similar, so I'll put them both on the screen. Protect and Kunwu. Protect, it's real simple. I like that it opens weird. I like that it doesn't open in the middle. I like getting a little pouch that I'm literally never going to use, but it's actually I think the pouch might even be microfiber, so you could technically could wipe the blade with it. But yeah, I've always liked the Protect one, and then for Kunwu, um, thing I like with them, once again, we're getting another pouch. Inside the pouch, we're going to have a couple stickers. I kind of stick everything in here. You always typically get two stickers. I think once or twice I've gotten three. Um, Sometimes, and this is inconsistent with them, but sometimes you end up getting some oil that will come. It's not actually in the box, but you will get some oil, which I'm a big fan of getting oil, or like you just said, anytime I can get like an extra tool is always nice. That way I'm not having to go rummage to grab mine if I'm having to do something with it. But and I will say I think that silver just looks kind of good. But so that would be my next ones.
Beautiful. All right. I guess in no particular order, the next one that comes to mind that I do enjoy from makers, and a lot of them do it, and so I love it, is this. I can't bring them in upright. Jesus, is similar to Grimsmo, and I know a lot of companies use these, but these hard shell cases with the foam inside, and I do like how Grimsmo kind of cuts their emblem into the foam here, and
Yeah.
not to mention something I didn't know for the longest time, and I've had Grimsmos for a while now, but this is the, as you can tell, the Fiel, I think is how they pronounce it. Forgive me if that's wrong. But I actually have the prototype number 4
Oh,
in the
yeah.
collection. And this guy, it does come with a tool and some lube. So I love that. And of course, the stickers. There's actually a little spring in here in case you launch it across the room from for the button. Which I have done, but thankfully found it, and I actually forgot that that was in there. So that could have saved me some heartache in the past, but at least I still have it. I did find it, so it's in one piece. But I do really love these style cases. I just feel like outside of, you can drop them, throw them around. Who gives a shit? It's gonna survive it, and they look fucking awesome too. So
Yeah,
that's my
as
next one.
far as that style case goes, because I mean, there's a decent amount of makers that use those, but
Right.
Grimsmo is hitting it way out of the park because most of the other ones you get COA and it's in a great especially if you're actually carrying around the case, like transporting, maybe you're moving or something like that. Like you said, those are probably about the best cases out there.
Right.
But yeah, Grimstone definitely it puts more into it than the rest, and I personally appreciate that.
Hmm.
So I'd said before I like boxes over pouches, but this is going to be one of the exceptions.
Damn it. That's a
Oh, you did it too. I should have known. So I think that if you're gonna do a pouch, Holt is doing it better than everyone else. Number one, I like the multiple little pocket thingies. I like so in this guy, there's actually a little tool that they put in there. Little tiny tool. And so I like that a lot. But the main thing, I mean, aside from I actually do think they have relatively stylish pouches as it is anyway. But and I will say this once again, talking about like if you actually for some reason are transporting, um, there there's a hardness to it. So I mean, they could be
Yes.
crushed. Don't
Yes.
get me wrong, but but it would take a bit. Like you're not going to crush it real easily. I do think the line looks great on the outside and
Hmm.
everything. I really appreciate them for doing their packages as great as they did. But this is actually what I really like.
Yes.
Um, for those that don't know, this is a Slinko card, and so if you have your phone, and you don't have to open up a certain app or any BS like that. You literally can, as long as your phone is turned on, if you tap it to the screen, it will pull up from like from Google or any web browser. It'll pull up all the information about your knife. I think that is the coolest type of COA you could have. I mean, yeah, I guess there could be drawbacks if we ever have the apocalypse and the internet's gone or something like that. But overall, I think it's pretty hard to beat that. I think it's really,
Hmm.
really cool. I just, I don't know. It's gadgety and it's kind of cool. So yeah, that would be my next for me.
100% agree. Yet again, that was one on my list, and for the same exact reasons. I love how there's the hardness to it, unlike the CKFs, which, especially with some of the bigger knives like the Evos, they can get pretty fat and round, where these will stack nice if you wanted to stack them. But yeah, I agree everything you just said. And since you stole a couple of mine, I have a feeling I might be stealing one of yours here, but we'll see.
Okay.
So another one that I absolutely love, and the raw experience of it.
God
Herman
damn
knives.
you.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. So yes, and I'm sure Michael will echo everything here, but just the smell of it, even. I mean, the experience, the metal COA here is just fantastic. All the little bits and pieces. Of course, the microfiber cloth with the Herman logo on there. Again, having the knife etched, well, not etched, but you know what I mean, into the foam here. For a second, when I first opened this knife, I opened it like this, and where the hell's the knife? But it's under here, so that's where it was. Again, comes with a tool. Love that, and of course the lube there. So it's just takes that opening experience just to the next level, and it's hard to beat that. I just absolutely love that. So I'm sure you have
Yeah.
a few things maybe you want to add to that, Michael.
So yeah, so that style is Herman has gone through a couple different
Yeah.
packages. That's the current one where they changed the logo. They used to have almost like a cursive font, and now it's more of a print style font. Um, but in the old days, when they had the more cursive style font, you still got a wooden box like that. If because that only the wooden box only comes for like a full dress model, right? Um,
Right.
but if you got a non-dress model, you still got a big COA. It was a paper COA. One thing that I kind of liked is it had a like a hologram thing on it. So like
Mm.
it, I mean, I don't know if people are out there trying to fake those things, but it would make it harder if there was somebody trying to do that. Um, and then you also did get a zippered pouch, which I mean, it's still just a zippered pouch, but it's got the logo on it. It's not just a plain, zippered pouch. And the other thing that was cool, so now they have cage bearings, but they used to have well, I guess think they were still technically caged, but they were loose in the cage. And oh boy, they were tiny. They were tiny. I think the size they used were like zero point 0.5 millimeters. So I mean, we're talking like half a millimeter. Man, if you dropped one of those, it was a miracle to find it. But they would give you about five extra ones in a little plastic baggie, which which hell they probably could have given you 25 would have been better, but still it was cool that they thought of all that and everything. Oh, and you used to get the tool. The lube is actually a new one for them, which
Hmm.
but so next one for me is this guy right here, the Rockstead box. So things I like about it. Number one, I like the type of wood.
That's what she said.
I don't really know what type of wood this is. It might be teak wood, but I could be totally wrong. I don't know shit about wood. Um, but it looks very Japanese, and they're a very Japanese company, so it seems to work. I like that you're getting a microfiber cloth. Depending on which model, you also will get a tool. This particular one does not come with a tool. It all kind of some of them I guess they don't mind you necessarily taking it apart yourself. Henceforth, when you get a tool, some of them I don't. I think they recommend you send it back to them. And then they put the COA right here. And I think as far as COAs go, um, I think this one. I think they do it really well. You get the. It's actually. I didn't even realize that when I grabbed the box. To be honest with you, but this is the
Uh-huh.
knife I was carrying today. Um, but yeah, so you get the. It's an actual picture. That's not just a generic stock picture of the model you have. That is your knife, which I think is kind of cool. And then you got your serial number. The model. Then kind of so like in with this particular model there's only one blade steel, but a lot of times, certain models they are available in two different, sometimes even three different blade steels. So I'll have what it is. Always puts the HRC, which I like. This one's at 67, which is pretty hard, folks.
Wow, that is really hard.
Um, it even tells what type of blade shape because they do a couple different ones. They all have the zero edge, but they do two different shapes, and then just all the weight and dimensions and all that stuff. But
440C clip. That's interesting.
yeah, right. Yeah, kind of crazy, right? Yeah, so that's like one part that is steel and everything, and then they're all hand signed right there too, which is kind of cool, and it gives you the date and all that giant jazz. But I just like the Rockstead packaging. I think it's nothing really like it's not really they're putting anything aside from that. I do think their COAs are better than most, but otherwise, I not that they are really doing anything that different. It's more just a matter of I don't know. I just think that I mean it's Japanese company and they do Japanese very well. Everything about it screams Japan. Yeah, but I will go ahead and I'm going to piggyback something else on it since you took my last one. So if you're not buying a full dress, Herman, and current times, this is what your box will look like. I had this was actually this is my number one. Since I have been ranking them, I think Herman does it better than all the rest. And you still get even with a non full dress, just a I don't know regular. I don't know how else to really call it. You still get the metal COA, which is pretty damn cool. Also, I
Hmm.
think something about being metal. I think just I don't know, just cool. Um, and then you're still getting the foam with that has like shape your knife. You get this little thing which means absolutely nothing. You get the microfiber cloths on those are really really nice too. Actually, just really quality stuff. And you're still getting the lube and the tool. So like once you open it, it's pretty much looks about the same as. But I will say that full dress wooden boxes. Whew, man,
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, they call them presentation boxes for a reason. I mean, it definitely like the way it presents the knife is just cool. Like I don't
Yeah,
know what else to say, but it's just really cool. But
absolutely.
so that actually tops out my favorites. But do you have any more?
I have one more, and then I guess I'll call out my kind of favorites here. So I guess one more I wanted to show since, and I guess we've kind of covered it. We've covered pouches, boxes, 3D prints, all that, and just wanted to show one more and an example from Hinderer. So all you get with the Hinderer is this cardboard box, but you do get a lot of tactical peanuts, so that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I paid extra for those. You get all the extra bearings for the tri-way or pieces for the tri-way system, such as the washers and the what's the other material? Fuck.
4 hours later.
The nylon washers as well.
Yeah.
So you get those stickers, all that sort of good stuff. You get a card somewhere in here of who actually built it and quote unquote tuned it. So you don't really get a whole lot, but do I really care? As I mentioned in the beginning, no, not really, as long as I love the knife. But again, it is nice to get something cool, and this isn't really that cool, I guess I'll say. But I do still like Hinders as long as the box get or the knife gets to me safely and unscathed. I guess I, in the end, don't really care, but do prefer that, experience when you get the knife. And I guess what I'll say is my favorite. And you might think, hey, it would be that presentation box from Herman, but actually, I really do prefer these style boxes. I don't know why. I think just the hard case, the boxes I could drop, break, take a piece out of perhaps. This one I can just, throw it against the wall, I feel like, and no harm comes to anything inside. And they just look cool. In my mind, generally speaking, this is my favorite. So,
Good as it gets, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean they're really cool. I do agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I yeah, the one downside about, I mean, I guess I don't know, you probably not gonna, if you are taking the Herman one around, especially the not the one I showed, but the full dress, um, man, that thing's a brick. I don't know what type of wood that is, but that is heavy
Yeah,
ass wood, is
it
what
is
that is.
solid. That's what it is. Yeah.
So I'm gonna show three different companies that I think I really don't like their boxes at all, and I'm gonna start right here with Shiro. Like,
Yes.
I probably wouldn't have a problem with it. Like, you still get like the COA, and you get the little microfiber cloth, and all that is wonderful. And I mean, actually, I do think their microfiber cloth. I like the way it looks. It's kind of like I guess you'd call them, it's like a midnight blue, almost black. And like I said, like, oh, and you get a sticker. I do like getting a sticker. Yeah, so I mean, it's and like I said, you got my little COA down there and everything, and that's all well and good. Um, my only gripe with their boxing is the fact that, my God, man, if I am dishing out this type of money for a knife, can you can you just make a slightly better box? I mean, this thing is flimsy. Like, it is
Hmm.
it is like, I am so careful with the way I store my Shiro boxes because, like, dude, these things, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm really about to date myself, but if probably dropped a VHS tape on it, it would like it would like smush. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
these things are love the company, don't like the box. Like that it's black. I'll say that. So that would be my third least favorite. Do you have any more you want to show, or you want me to go through my
No,
least
keep
favorite?
chugging, man. Let's see them.
All right. So number two,
You said number 2.
we're gonna deal with the SPK.
Mm.
Talk about flimsy boxes. More flimsy than Shiro. Well, my God. I mean, this is like, I think he had to go out of his way to find cardboard this thin. Like, I don't know how he found such thin cardboard, but and I've heard people always say like, oh, I'd rather the money go into the knife, blah blah blah. Dude, especially in bulk, these boxes are like, they're not even $1. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. It could be better. I'll put it like that. I'm not expecting Herman or Grismo stuff, but like the flimsiest cardboard you can find, I'd prefer not that. But the winner for the shittiest knife box out there is this
Who could
fucking
that be?
Strider.
Yep.
Come on, man. You give me a Ziploc?
Yep.
Fucking Ziploc? Really? Like, I mean, this technically is not a Strider. Ziploc is way too big, but I didn't have one. Look, so first Strider I ever got, I got it from somebody on the secondary, and when it came in like that, I thought, because the guy was kind of my friend, like, I thought he was fucking with me. I was like, what about the box? He was like, no, they literally come in Ziploc bags. I was like, what? And don't get me wrong, I can hear people saying right now, like, it's a tool, use your shit, and all that stuff and everything. Dude, whatever. fucking fuck that shit. Like something better than a Ziploc would be nice. That's just into the story.
Agreed. No, I agree. It could definitely be better, but I guess again at the end of the day, would it keep me from getting the knife, or has it ever kept me from getting a knife? No.
Oh,
But
absolutely
god
not. Yeah,
damn it,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Striders are what 6 and up, I would say,
I would say,
at the
yeah,
minimum.
yeah. I think that's.
Yeah, it deserves more than a Ziploc baggie. But at the same time, would you take a $600 knife that came in a Ziploc? Would you be willing to pay, say, 700 for that same knife if it came in a box?
Because I know wholesale prices of packaging, I would know they are really tacking on a lot for it.
Yep.
I would do 625,
Yeah.
but yeah, 100 is absolutely insane, especially at wholesale, like in bulk prices. You're making if you upped it $100, you are making like $90 profit on the box. So I do it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I guess like overall, the whole point of the video is, just to go over the packaging again. I think we both agree it doesn't keep us from wanting a knife or even getting a knife, but god damn it, it does make the experience better. So
Yeah. But hey, we want to know what you guys have to say.
absolutely.
Are we just a bunch of pussies that are bitching about like not having a nice box with an expensive ass knife? Like what are your thoughts? Do you guys care? Do you do you not really care, but it's like an added bonus, like how we feel,
Do you keep
or
them?
like yeah, yeah, or I mean, some people, man, some people toss these boxes.
They
So I
do.
mean, for those that toss them, like it means literally nothing to you. But we would love to hear what you guys think about it. Like I said, this is a kind of a deep dive into serious knife geekdom. But hopefully, some of you guys will relate to it and think it's a cool topic to talk about. And please, guys, like and subscribe. Dear
Hmm.
God, please comment because man, I really just want to hear what you guys think about all this stuff. But
Absolutely.
yeah. Anything else on your end?
Nope, that's it. You covered it all. Please like, subscribe. Hopefully, catch you guys on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care.